Assalamu alaikum. Today is our sixth lecture, and today's lecture is about electromagnetism. Till now, we have completed our mechanic physics part, and now onward, most of our time will be on electromagnetism physics. So before starting electromagnetism, I want to tell you a brief history about electromagnetism. So, as we studied earlier, that electromagnetism is also a branch of physics that mostly deals with electricity and the magnetic effect or magnetic field. So, what are these electromagnetic effects, how they form, and how they affect, how they are used in our daily life? All this we will study in our today's lecture. So, let me tell you first that before the Einstein's theory of relativity, electricity and magnetism were considered as the separate forces. Like people thought that electricity and magnetism are they are two different types of forces until in 19th century Alexander Einstein gave his theory of relativity, and after that theory all it was clear that electric forces are produced by electric charges either at rest or in motion, but magnetic forces on the other hand are produced only by moving charges. So it is clear that the only difference between electricity and magnetism is that electricity can be formed in both state, in the rest state or in the moving state, but magnetism, magnetic force is only found in a moving state. So, as we read in definition, electromagnetism is a branch of physics involving the study of electromagnetic forces, type of physical interaction that occurs between electrically charged particles. So, from the definition, if we read the last line, a type of physical interaction that occurs between electrically charged particles. This means that electricity and magnetism are almost the same thing. Because why? Because they occurs in the same electrically charged particles. How? We can study in one. The four fundamental forces of our universe is gravitational force, weak and strong nuclear, and electromagnetic. So the thing to tell is that electromagnetic forces or electromagnetic effect is one of the most important things in our universe, you can say. So electric and magnetic fields, this I already told you that the only difference between is rest and motion. Electric forces produce electric charge either at rest or in motion. However, magnetic forces on the other hand produce only in moving. How? I can explain to you. For example, in an electric wire, it is at rest. All the charges, positive and negative, they are at rest. And an electric current is applied on it, or electric charge is given to it. For example, it is given to a positive one. It will then transfer to the nearby, all the nearby atoms from positive to negative, negative to positive, all they will slowly catch the electric charge. Positive positive will repel each other and positive negative will attract each other. So after getting charges in all the surroundings, when this positive negative and negative positive attraction and repulsion will happen, so this will cause a magnetic force and the current will start flowing. So it is clear that electric forces can produce magnetic force, because when the current will flow, it will form the magnetic force. But magnetic force cannot form electric, because it depends on electric forces. As our course is of applied physics, so in electromagnetism, here we will be talking mostly about the electromagnetic spectrum, frequencies, their applications, and all other things related to them. So in today's lecture, let me start about this electromagnetic spectrum. What is electromagnetic spectrum? Actually, there are types of electromagnetic waves, and they all travel in a same speed of a light, but in different frequencies. Each frequency or each frequency spectrum has its own benefits. Before explaining the diagram, I want to show you that this is this spectrum is same this. So you can see the visible light. Why visible light in the middle, and something is on the right side and on the left side. So the purpose of showing this diagram is that we cannot see electromagnetic waves or frequencies. Only the visible light spectrum can be seen. Now we again go to this. In this you can see here is visible light. So all the frequencies on the left side and on the right side, they cannot be seen by us. Only we can see visible light. So let's start one by one. We will start studying on from the radio frequencies, because in our daily life the most important or most widely used electromagnetic force is the RF1. But I will also give you a brief introduction of ELF, VLF, and the low frequency. So what is ELF? ELF means extremely low frequency. These frequencies are mostly from 3 to 30 hertz, and in atmospheric an alternate definition is usually given from 3 to 3 kilohertz in related to magnetic sphere size. So these are very low frequencies, and mostly our earth, you can say, generate this type of low frequency waves. You remember in our first lecture I told you that before earthquake there are some type of special very low frequency waves which only the animals can sense, and they react that something is going to happen. So this is that type of frequency. You can say ELF, extremely low frequency. Now, what is VLF? VLF stands for very low frequency. Very low frequencies are from range from 3 to 30 kilohertz, and their wavelengths are from 100 to 10 kilometer respectively. And what are the applications of this frequency? In our electricity, these type of frequencies are used because all the electricity transmission which we use on our homes or from the grid station, so this type of low frequency, very low frequencies are used in electricity or electricity transmission, you can say. Now we come to LF. What is LF? LF is known as low frequency, and its range is from 30 to 300 kilohertz. This frequency is also safe for us, safe for humans, and it is mostly used in our electronic or electrical appliances. Now the main frequency starts from radio frequencies. Why I said main? Because every frequency has its own part or own spectrum, and whenever it is to be used in whole world, it will only be used from its own spectrum. So radio frequency, or in short we also say it RF frequencies, are the frequencies which are used in communication, in our telecommunication, in our mobile communication. You see the mobile control towers, they are giving signals, our mobiles are receiving the signals, we are using FM radio or we are using AM. So all these telecommunication frequencies which help us in communication are from radio frequency spectrum. So this is the reason, like in telecommunication, mostly frequencies used are 1900, 1800, 2100 and 900. So these are the frequency used for telecommunication. Whenever, for example, if some telecom company wants to give 2G or 3G services, they always apply for license. And what is that license? That is buying the frequency. So nowadays in whole world, communication is so widely spread that radio frequencies spectrum are almost filled. That is the reason you notice that when the telecommunication or mobile companies were new, maybe 10 to 15 years back, you never face any type of distortion while calling to your friend or family. There were also very low ratio of dropping the calls, but nowadays it's a common issue of dropping calls or you cannot hear from another side. It is all because radio frequency spectrum is filled, and companies are using or reusing the frequencies. So in the future it will be very difficult for especially telecommunication to use radio frequencies freely in communication. So one of the solution for this is they will start using visible light spectrum. As you can see, from 625 to 9 590 590 565 till 435. So visible light spectrum is quite big. It is the, you can say that if we use this spectrum for communication, it will never be filled till years, hundred of years. So it can be used in future. You can say light can be used in future for communication. So the visible light spectrum is very important since 2011, because all the communication industries start doing their research in this spectrum, and they are trying to use this spectrum in order to give some relief to radio frequency spectrum. Okay, so this visible light spectrum is the only electromagnetic waves which we can see, but all others are invisible waves. So radio frequency waves, low frequency radio waves that broadcast radio and television signals. So this is the first, you can see it is highlighted. This is the first low frequency that we use in our daily life for communication. And I told you that this box that is highlighted is already filled, and that's why we are trying to use the visible light communication as an alternate for radio waves communication. Now the next one is microwaves. Microwave signals are widely used. The first most common use is in our homes in microwaves for cooking the food, and the second one is in telecommunication. If you see on the mobile towers, you can see two types of antennas. One is, you can see this antenna, this round antennas. So these round antennas are microwave antennas. They are used for connectivity. They connect one tower to the another tower, and it's all like the chain, and because of this connectivity we can communicate and we can use internet on our mobiles. So what the difference between RF and microwave? RF signals are the signals we receive on our mobile phones and use for communication, but microwave is used for connecting the mobile towers or giving the connectivity to our signal. If microwave is closed, then we will receive the signal of RF on our mobile phones, but those signals cannot help us to communicate, because we will send message from our mobile, it will go to the mobile tower, but it cannot go further because microwave is closed. The third spectrum is of infrared waves. Infrared mostly we use in our home for short communication. Most common example of infrared is remote control. And in telecommunication, all the communication inside optical fiber is of infrared. Infrared is also used in our security or thermal images cameras. Infrared is not, you can say, it can be harmful, like when it is used in our electric heaters, or if we increase the power for infrared, it can also cause some type of burning on your skin. So this is the first one. You see that RF was at low frequency, it was not much harmful for human, Then came the microwave. Microwave was also safe, but not safe as safer as RF. In RF, we always walk around and mobile signals are around us and they will never harm us. But in microwave, we cannot put our hand inside microwave oven because it has a high power and it can affect our body. After that come the infrared. Infrared is safer but not as safe as RF and microwave. Infrared in some cases can affect our body. So these three types, RF, microwave and infrared, these are the low frequencies and invisible light spectrum, invisible electromagnetic spectrum. After that come the visible light, and after visible light, these are short high frequencies. Why we can short high frequencies? Remember one thing, frequency is inversely proportional to distance. Higher the frequency is, its area coverage will be larger. Lower the frequency is, its area covered is larger, and higher the frequency is, its area covered is short. So as we read early, this radio waves, they are most low frequency. So that's why there are only one mobile tower and it can be used for 15 to 20 kilometers, or also sometimes in case of 2G 30 to 40 kilometers. A little bit increase in radio frequency, it become microwave. Microwave, when used for communication, it can only be used for few kilometers. After few kilometers, microwave signals will be distracted. After that come the infrared. You can see that infrared comes to some few meters. When you are using the remote control, it depends upon the power. Remote control use only 2 cells, so that's why you can only use it from few meters. But if the power is increased, you can increase few more meters in that. But as you see that as the frequency is increasing, their range is coming small. RF was low frequency, highest range, then become microwave, increase in the frequency but decrease in the range. Then come the infrared waves, again it was increase in the frequency as compared to microwave but decrease in the range. And after visible light, it comes short or high frequency. These are the very high frequencies. We also cannot see them with our eye, but these high frequencies can harm our body. It can affect our body if they are misused. How misused? Let's see. These are the three types of most common high frequencies we use: ultraviolet rays, X rays, and gamma rays. Ultraviolet rays are which we are getting from the sun. So we see that if you don't use UV lotion or UV protection, then sun or ultraviolet sunlight will directly leave some impact on our skin and it will harm our skin or body. Same in the case of X-rays. X-rays are mostly used in our security purposes, in medicals, but those rays are also harmful if they are applied on our body for a long time or to the sensitive parts like eyes, nose. If you apply these rays there, then it will affect our body. Third one is gamma rays for cancer treatment. As we know that In our everyday life, all the objects are working on their fixed frequencies. Electricity equipments, they are working on low frequencies. Mobiles, they are working on radio frequencies. Microwave oven is working on microwave frequencies. So each object have its own frequency. Same like this, inside our body, all the organs like heart, lungs, liver, our skin, all these parts, they have their own frequency. So gamma rays are high frequencies which are used to treat all these types of organs. For example, if I say that our liver operates on the frequency of, you can say 40, 60 to 65, I'm not sure, I'm just giving a rough estimate. If our liver works on 60 to 70 gigahertz, it's a very high frequency. Then if that person have some issue inside liver or have cancer and they want to treat that with the gamma rays, so we will apply 60 to 70 gigahertz gamma rays on the liver. Why? Because whenever we apply the frequency on some object like our mobile phone, we apply the RF frequency, it start working good. So same like this, if our liver works on 60 to 70 gigahertz and we will apply gamma rays of 60 to 70 gigahertz on the liver, then it will start helping the liver to recover and fight against cancer treatment. So it it is clear that low frequencies less harmful for us and their range of communication is larger, but in high frequencies they are harmful for our body. They can only be used in the control environment and their communication range is low. So electromagnet in our daily life, electromagnets are used for various purposes in our daily life. For example, they are used in our electric motors, in our fans, in our equipments, electrical equipments. Wherever there is electricity, electromagnetic force is there. This is the simple definition. In our home appliances, in our electric fan, as I told, because there is a motor inside the fan which is working from magnetic effect, so electromagnetic force is there. In our doorbell, magnetic locks, and etc. Medical use, in medical use, as we studied just now, high frequency are used mostly in medical fields, gamma rays, x-rays, these types of. In our hardware, like in our CD-ROM, in our VCR, VCP, these types of, and in our hard drive also there is a magnetic tape. So in all the electrical and electronic equipment there is electromagnetic force. Communication devices, of course, for in our mobile phones, telecom, every type of equipment, electronic equipment we are using for communication, electromagnetic force is there. How? You can say that whenever some calls come and if there is radio working around you, so you can feel the signal distortion. So electric magnetic field is all around. These are the 10 uses of electromagnetic in our everyday life, and that are generators and motors, transformers, electric buzzers, all these are electrical equipment, you can see. So in short, the most easy way to remember where is electromagnetic force around us, everything that is working on electricity, no matter is an electrical equipment or electronics equipment, electromagnetic effect is there. So this was our today's lecture, and from next lecture we will start studying about the laws of electromagnetic, and we will continue our electromagnetic physics portion. Thank you.